Hi, this is Jane from SafeNet AT. In this brief video, I'm going to show you how to create a KeySecure cluster for the purpose of redundancy and high availability. I'm going to be using two KeySecures in this configuration, but the process is the same whether you have 2 or 3 or 4, and you just join additional members the same way that I will be joining the second one. So the first step is to just choose one of the KeySecures to create the cluster on. It has no additional priority or role in the cluster. It is just the one that you're going to create it on. So I'm just going to pick KeySecure 1 here to create the cluster on, and click the Device tab, and then the Cluster option. And you'll see this Create Cluster form here. I'm going to select a local port. I'm going to leave it at the default of 9001. Just make sure it's not the same port as a key server. And then choose a cluster password and confirm it. And click Create. Now you notice here that you see cluster key is present. When I created the cluster, a key was generated in the background. Any other KeySecure that joins this cluster will need that key, in addition to the password, the IP address of another KeySecure in the cluster, and its port. So knowing that I need an IP address, I'm just going to copy this one, as it's the only one in the cluster right now. Make a note that it's on port 9001. Make a note of the password, and then I'm going to download the cluster key. And it will get downloaded into a file called in-cluster. So the next step is to go to the second KeySecure and click Device and Cluster. And you'll see this Join Cluster form down at the bottom. You'll want to set the local port to whatever port you want. I'm just going to leave it at 9001 like the first one. Enter the cluster IP. That would be the other one that created the cluster. Its cluster port number. And navigate to and select the key file that was downloaded. You would have to transfer it to this KeySecure in some fashion. And then enter the cluster password. And click Join. It's asking for confirmation. I'm going to confirm. And you now see that we have the cluster with 2 members here, and both are active. And I want to show you one other thing, and this can be done on either KeySecure. Suppose you decide you don't want all the settings replicated, that there are certain settings that will be unique to the KeySecure. For example, if they are not co-located, they're in different geographies, they have different administrators, you might not want to replicate all settings. So in that case, you click the Edit button under the cluster and select Custom Settings, and just uncheck whichever settings you don't want to be replicated amongst the KeySecures. I'll select those and click Save, Confirm, and now I've changed the replication settings. If you want to go back to Replicate All, click Save. So now we have 2 KeySecures in the cluster. Any changes made on any KeySecure will get replicated to the others. There's no only make changes on the master and it replicates to the backup. Every KeySecure is on equal footing at this point. If I want to remove a KeySecure from the cluster, I'm going to go back to KeySecure 1 now. You can see this is the one that created the cluster. It is not a problem to remove it from the cluster. Just confirm. As long as there is one KeySecure in the cluster will exist, and that key and password can be used to have other members join. If I refresh the screen here, you'll now see this is the only member of the cluster. If you wanted to join another KeySecure in the cluster now, you would use this IP address and this port number to join, as the first one is gone. So that's it. It's pretty easy. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, we have additional information in our administration manual. Thanks for watching.